It's out with the old and in with the new. And speaking of old, James Lott Jr. is here on a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Dishin' Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by the original Charlie's Angels.
I'm Sabrina, the smart one.
Does that mean I'm Farrah?
I want to be Farrah.
You can't be, sorry.
No, I think you're Jacqueline.
Okay, fine.
Oh, she's good too. She's a good one.
Yeah.
I look better as a brunette. Well, to my far left, we have my good girlfriend,
Mark J Freeman.
And of course, we have my chocolate twin.
I'm back, bitches. It's me, James Lott Jr.
And I'm not the oldest now.
I'm the oldest. That's right.
Just for today, so enjoy it, Mary.
I look the youngest, so it doesn't
enjoy
matter.
it, Mary. Well, no. Forever young.
Forever young.
I will let you guys know that these started off as a full plate of
I was
heaping
plate.
And they're down to 3. I ate before I got here, so I'm good. All right, so thank you guys for watching us live. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on social media. On Facebook and Instagram, we are Dishin' Days, and on Twitter, we are _Dishin' Days. The ad is implied. All right, so some new things happened this week. What did you guys feel? How did you guys feel about this week of Days of Our Lives? There was such a, let me tell you, social media was blowing up between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of anticipation.
Yes.
There's a lot. You're right. It was like,
Yes.
everybody was like, tomorrow. Yes. I'm sure Ron Carvalho had a lot of tweets when he was tagged.
Well, he tweeted a lot too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was on social media a lot.
Yeah, he was on it too.
And Days.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys. It's good to see you guys too. Thank you. You guys like my laugh. Nobody does. I'll go first, just because I haven't been here in a while. This is the first full week of Days that I've watched this whole year. Like she sat down and watched all 5 episodes.
Well, you had to because you was coming in.
Totally.
We didn't have to.
Well, you don't have to.
Hell, Mark doesn't.
You could have came in and been like, "Oh, you guys didn't have a breaking news and get it cut off."
OJ, OJ all week. Was it OJ all week? He's getting out.
Why haven't I thought of that?
I will say this. How dare you, O.J. Simpson, interrupt Wendy Williams for me? I was so upset. I was like, listen, I don't care if you're getting paroled or not. You wait.
Yeah, exactly. Why was it anyway televised in the story?
Anyway.
Okay, so it was my first full week of watching it, and I have to say what a difference a day makes. Wednesday was my favorite episode of the whole week, hands down. But the whole week itself, I was like, oh, I'm bored with that. I'm bored with that. I'm bored with that. That's interesting. I'm bored with that. I'm bored with that. That's interesting. That's promising. Drop that. That's how it was the whole week. It was kind of like the whole week was. I give the whole week 5 out of 10. I would say stars.
The entire week, 5 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm just saying that 5 meaning that there's a lot of potential. Like there's some things I'm really excited about, and some things as a person who hasn't watched in a while, I was like boring. I have no. And we'll break it down, of course, but. I'll give it a C plus 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, that's how I feel about this week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mark J. Freeman? Because let me tell you, Mark was all over social media.
Yes, you were.
So much so that I had to give him a shout out on Instagram. I was like, go follow her. Girl, she talking a lot.
I would give, okay, what do you want first? Out of 10 or a grade?
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
I would say a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
And that's just Wednesday through Friday.
Because Billy was on.
Oh, Wednesday through Friday. And Billy was on the whole week, basically, just about.
Well, I mean, coincidence.
Oh, jeez. And a grade.
And a grade A.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, is it my turn? Is that all you have to say?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, for now.
For now.
I think we all know that's not all I have to say.
Yeah, that's truly.
I will say this. This is how I watched it because I decided just to watch all the episodes on Saturday.
Okay.
Rather than Sunday. She's doing better.
And but last week she was watching every day.
I remember you. I've seen that.
Because he even texted me or tweeted me something, and I was like, oh, bitch, I already watched it.
Yeah, I saw you were watching
I
it.
was like,
I
I'm done.
Yeah.
I did it this week. I watched them day by day.
Yeah, but when you do that though, you tend to like forget stuff.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
kind of like watching it all together.
Me too, so do I.
I will say this. I watched it. I watched Monday and Tuesday, and then I literally gave myself like a little break. I got myself a snack and everything like that. I tweeted to everyone, "All right, about to go into Wednesday," and then I went into Wednesday, and I was like, ooh, and like right off the bat, the sassiness between Kate and John.
Yes.
I was like, okay, we're doing
in.
some things,
Yes.
and I thought there were a lot of times of, all right, this week he's kind of having to clean up and
I said that, right.
like work with some stuff,
yes.
but oh, there was a state of confusion for a second.
Okay.
There was a state of, and then there was like a, okay, we'll go see what's going to happen.
Yes. Just some of those. Yes.
So I will give it
5
a
out of 10.
7.
Okay, you're close to me. Okay.
And I'll give it a B for right now.
So you're close to me. You're like
because it's kind of like I share the same sentiments as Earl Corinder, or on Twitter he's at New Flash Pros. He said, let's not overdo it, girls. The best that can be said is it was better than Dina. He still has a long way to go. It's like if you're starving and someone gives you a cracker, you're like, this is the best cracker ever. And I was like, I get it, because everyone was like, oh, the new writing, but now I'm kind of like, okay, this is an ease into it, but now I'm waiting to see like, okay, like what are we gonna do? Like, really get into the meat and potatoes.
I was gonna say, okay, I kind of disagree with you a little bit out there, or all a little bit. Wednesday, the writing was sharper. It was faster. I'm just saying that there was a huge difference. Trust me.
Yes.
From Monday and Tuesday to Wednesday. Yeah. You could feel it was just, like I said, right from John and Kate's bumping into each other.
Immediately.
Yeah.
You knew immediately that
Yes.
something was changed.
I think what he's saying is, it's almost like everyone's like, hip,
I know, I'm
new
not getting it,
writing. And it's like, it's just day one.
Right.
Like,
But day one was awesome.
It was
and I
awesome.
watched it twice.
It was awesome.
And I haven't watched a day's episode twice. And I watched it twice because I was like, I feel like I missed something. I need to watch this again.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's that's not good, that's great.
It's great.
That's
It
great.
is.
And that's better than just being better than Dina.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Way
I
better.
see what he's
So
saying.
I disagree with him.
Same here. I see what he's saying, but I'm saying, to me, Wednesday was a good episode, period.
It was. But it's still not taking. It's not taken away from the greatness of it. It's just saying,
however, comma.
It's just however, comma. It's just saying like, okay, we see.
That's just another way of saying but.
No. It's like this. It's like we're pulling from the dock. We have got the champagne bottle. We cracked it open. We said, hooray, we are setting sail. And now we're going to see where this trip goes, and hopefully it doesn't hit an iceberg.
It's not.
I hope not.
Well,
it's good.
Well, with all that,
I think it's great.
It's now time to start
Dishing
Days.
God, this is so long.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you forget how to handle it?
I did. Set it
you
and
got it.
forget it.
Dun, dun. Shout out to Steven in the booth.
Yes.
Hey, Steve. So Steve is with us today. Alexis is like getting her life and trying to get married. So there's that.
Yeah.
Also, while we're talking, Steve, as you notice, we're going to have a Look Who's Related later, and I hope that soundbite is still on our soundboard. Wink. There's that note.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. That's
All right. So now let's start.
Okay.
What are we talking about first? Oh, okay. So Abigail, Andre, Dario, Theo, Chad.
Theo's hot. I forgot how hot Tyler Pettis is. I'm sorry, Tony. I have to say, I don't care.
I'm not saying anything.
I know you're
because
not.
The second I say something,
I know they'll
all of a
attack
sudden I'm
you.
Tony Moore Pettis. All of a sudden Kyle is mad at me.
Yeah, I know.
And all that
But
kind of stuff. So
all I know is he's hot.
So if I were to read the little bubbles above Tony's head right now, since he's not talking, he's thinking. I think it says, I agree 100% with James Lott Jr. and James Lott Jr. better not go anywhere near my man's. That's what it says. That's that little bubble above it said.
and then I go and shoot away that bubble, and I do a new bubble that says, I'm just a fan. Open arms.
I'm still with
or a whore with open arms.
open legs. I'm still, my man is still Donnell Turner in General Hospital. Don't worry, I'm not cheating on him.
Okay.
But no, I just was looking at him going, God, and that shirt and everything was like, I know he's playing this like kind of autistic young adult or whatever, but I'm like, he's fucking hot.
So it's safe to say he boils your potato.
Yes, I smell my sweet potato.
With a little brown sugar on it.
Totally. So yeah, okay. But anyway, that's your question on that one. I like that they brought him into the storyline.
Yes,
as a hacker. It's kind of good.
Did anyone else think that he was going to be like, no, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that?
but he didn't.
I thought for 2 seconds he was going to be like, no, but then he's. Theo is such a straight shooter. He's just like, is it going to help Chad?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Right.
Is Abigail in trouble? Okay, fine, I'll do it. It's almost like he's like the smartest one in Salem.
Yes.
Where he's just like, I always just picture him being like, I don't have time for this.
Right.
Like he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and that's what I like about Theo.
What I like about this storyline is that they're showing the relationships of all of them. It's the mirrors, basically.
Yeah.
And they're showing all relationships, and it's multi-generational, which Ron likes to do later on. He'll see more of that later. I like that.
Yes.
And I like that they pulled him in. It made sense.
Yes.
It wasn't like just like, let's throw Theo in there. No, he has a relationship with Chad. He has one with Abigail. Abigail and Andre have a relationship.
Yes.
They've established that. Kate, I mean, all of it worked for me. It all worked for me.
And they had set it up too with Chad offering him the IT job and stuff like that. So it was set up well, and I don't know if that was intentional or coincidence, but I thought it worked very well.
I also like that Abigail called Andre for help with the stuff with
flashback
Dario.
to when she came back.
Yes, and I like, to be honest, I like that they're kind of wrapping up this whole Dario thing.
Yeah,
because like we said last week, it just started becoming creepy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a thing where it was kind of like we were on board and like they slowly did start falling in love with each other and everything like that. It started becoming too pushy. And so I like that, you know, they broke into the computer and found all the info on his counterfeit business. But I was surprised to see his whole blackmail with Chad and killing Deimos. But then I had the same question as everybody else. How you get that picture?
I know.
Yeah.
Did you take it? Are you there?
Yeah.
Miss Dario.
But I'm sad. I'm sad to see Jordy go in real life. I mean, he's a good actor. He's hot. And he's a good actor. And we met him, of course. He's a really nice guy and everything. He's a good actor. But I just think it's so sad that he's gone because he has storyline possibility. There's still storyline possibility with him. So I'm kind of sad that's happening.
Yes.
But I think the storyline.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. I'm glad they're wrapping that part of it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like that now. Well, I don't like that there's like another person that is on the Who Killed Deimos list. But I like that.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be dragged out for a while.
Ron said in the interview that he had almost had it wrapped. It was already kind of wrapped up, but he's elongating it.
Oh, Miss Ron.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he has some plans. He said.
Miss Ron. Okay, Miss Ron. I'm watching you, bro. So yeah, I like also Kate getting involved because of Chad.
Yes.
Now, since you're here, maybe you can help me figure out why does she have such a love for Chad?
Because remember when Casey John Diedrich played him, the teenager. Casey
Diedrich.
He's like who?
She's so shady.
I caught it.
Is it because her and Madeline
were good friends?
So okay.
And she was married to Stefano when it all kind of came out.
Yes.
And they really and see, there's rumor that it was going to make her the mother. I was like, she already has like 20 kids. I don't need any more.
So does Stefano.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was like, I'm glad.
And one in the wings.
But it's so funny. And they mentioned Lexi the other day too. I was like, oh, Lexi.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
I feel like they've been talking about Lexi a lot.
I know. I'm like, Renee Jones, you come back, girl.
Okay.
Are you the best kept secret? But I that's the whole thing is that they became really close actually. Because they aren't really mother and son, but it's just something there about them that's there. And I think I like that they kept it through line with Billy Flynn playing him too. I think they kept the through line going.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how this story turns out. Mark, any notes or things you want to say regarding Chad's performance this week?
Phenomenal, amazing, and brilliant.
My mom always said, when you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all.
Did we talk about this last week, Tony? The Abigail and Dario, and I feel I had a conversation with somebody, and I don't know if it was here or if it was outside of here, but I was talking about how I think we all can agree that we liked when Abigail came back and kind of the instant spark between Dario and Abigail.
Yes.
And it was interesting and it was fun because it was genuine and it just kind of happened. And did we talk about this last week?
I don't think we talked about it last week. You must have talked about it outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my thing with this whole thing is that, you know, the whole him actually thinking that I'm gonna blackmail her, but she's gonna fall in love with me. That's what's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And we did say this last week because I said the one smart thing that Rafe said was, "Do you really think that like she's gonna fall in love with you?" And I was like, "Thank you, somebody said that," because I don't understand how he could possibly think doing what he's doing, and especially now that she knows, because he even said it again this week to Rafe. Oh, well, she doesn't love me now, but she will. Girl. No. And there's never been a point where Dario's been like it would be different if it was somebody who's been delusional about people in the past, but he's never been that way. So it's just like, it's like reaching for straws and forcing the storyline to go the way that they want it, which again, I understand. But I just wish I wish that almost he genuinely was going to get deported. So this was a genuine thing. And then they genuinely kind of fell for each other. And it was just a coincidence that it happened with her and Chad getting divorced and all this stuff. And then things start unfolding and she finds out this stuff. And then it makes it difficult because they are genuinely falling in love. Like that seems to make more sense to me than the way that it's transpiring.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. But I do like that they're bringing all the Damaras in. I like that they brought Theo in. And like you said, I liked when he was like, well, if it's for Chad, I'll do it. Yeah. Because there's definitely a bond between Theo and Chad. There's a bond between Chad and Kate. There's a bond between Chad and Abby. There's a bond between Chad and everybody.
Not everybody. Oh, and then it ended with Dario getting arrested at Club TBD by Rafe.
Before Abigail could get her hands on the phone to possibly delete the photo.
All right.
Right. Well, now that he's in jail and the stuff is being confiscated, maybe it makes
and he even said on the way out, "Oh, I got bigger fish for you if you want that."
Yeah. Yes. And Abigail did the classic soap.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this story plays out.
We'll see where it goes.
All right. So Damos's murder is still a mystery. JJ was let go. Sonny went under hypnosis to figure out if what he could remember. He didn't remember nothing.
I got a side note. For Monday's episode, it was Black Folk Central.
Yeah.
It was, for the first time I think in a long time, it was mostly black folks. We saw Lonnie, we saw Abe, we saw Vanessa, excuse me. We saw Valerie, we saw Eli. We saw you.
You saw Tony.
But seriously, it was like a very Theo. It was a very heavy black folk episode. I was like, where these black folks come from?
Yeah.
It's a little side note, but that was in there.
Yeah. I did notice that as well.
It was very interesting to know. It's a shame we have to notice that. But
I was just gonna say the same thing. I hate that we have to say that.
Yeah.
But thank you, because it was noticeable.
It was very noticeable.
And they're all great, and they should be.
Yes, exactly. They're all good. And they're all parties, different storylines. It's just funny. It's like, oh, just black people just pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Out of the woodwork.
Well, yeah. And
General Hospital has a few, and One People has a few. They all have a few, but this one was like, I thought it was a meeting. I was like, do I need to go into Days of Our Lives, Horton Square, and go for the meeting?
I was there.
You were there. What a white girl, though. Talking to some white chick.
Well, girl.
Shopping in the back and talking to some white chick.
Well.
But yeah, so I said it's still a side note. I just wanted to mention that's actually something significant, so I want to mention that.
what else is happening with this murder? That's pretty much it this week, right?
There wasn't really much about the actual murder itself, other than Chad.
Boring.
Them thinking that Chad might be the guilty.
I feel like
party
every
now.
week there's someone new that's being added to that
And
list.
Xander reading busty boobs or whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah.
I was laughing.
So I still don't understand. I mean, I do understand, but I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like seeing Xander, but I don't, because I feel like it's obvious that it wasn't him, so I don't get why he was even there.
Because Salem PD is just as bad as PCPD on General Hospital. They can't get nothing right.
Well, now it's not Salem PD. It's John and Paul.
I'm saying all of them. They're all related. They all can't.
They're not.
Get it right.
They're Black Patch.
True.
Yeah.
Well, side note. Speaking of John.
Yeah, it's good to see you back.
The Silver Fox.
How did we like the hair?
I like it.
I love it. I'm
it.
so glad that they did that.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of seeing it dyed. And he just looked so handsome and striking. And I was just like, thank you for embracing it and just doing it. Because I 100% behind it.
We know it's hard when you're an actor. It's hard to embrace the gray. Yeah. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. No, he looked hot. I thought he looked great. And he's a man of a certain age. I mean, he's still viable. I mean, he has to dry up in as a raisin. I mean, he's still viable and he's still hot. I like it. I'm so glad to see him back.
Yeah. Too bad within 2 seconds he had to leave Marlena again.
I know.
Well, Paul needed him. You need him. Need his daddy. But I just say either way. Okay. But another story. He needs his daddy. He needs his daddy, girl.
He needs his daddy. He needs his daddy, girl.
But no, but either way, I love Paul Telfer. He is hilarious first of all in real life and nice guy. But he is hot also. And I was like, give me some more hot men.
But I'm with Mark though. I feel like he was ruled out if they've already said that he was in his cell.
Right.
And did you clock when he said? When he told Paul, we're most straight men in America. And I was like,
ooh, I was like,
I beg your pardon, Xander.
And also when he said, Sonny was, I didn't think he was man enough. I was like, oh my God.
Right? I was like, you had some time in Greece to just think. To think and look at, but how is he getting the busty broads?
Well, Xander's probably getting more gay sex.
So awful.
Xander.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, you did. Atta girl.
Atta girl. That's why my mom does not watch this podcast.
They're Greeks. Greeks do all kind of stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Well, so they're still on the hunt for that. So there's that. Now, moving on to,
Uh-oh.
Angelica and Hattie.
Okay.
Now, can I tell you, for about 5 of those scenes, I don't know if it was really 5, I'm just giving a number, I was so confused. I was like, what does Marlena have to do
Same here.
with this? I was like, why is Marlena in? I was like, what is going on?
I knew immediately.
And then it was like, oh wait, Marlena would never wear a loud shirt like that. That's Hattie.
Well, see, I was going your direction, but I went, maybe she's going to try to help Adrian somehow, and she's pretending to be nice. I was confused too, like, her and Angelica working together. I didn't get it.
I knew when she said, you can call me Marlena. For some reason, the way she said it, I was just like, oh, it's Hattie. She's pretending to be Marlena. That's why she's like, you can call me Marlena. Yeah. It clicked. As soon as she said, you can call me Marlena, I was like, that's Hattie.
I was still sitting there like,
me too.
Okay, so we're not going to be formal. It's going to be Marlena, so they're girlfriends. And I was just like, what? Okay, but... I'll kick this off. The plan still doesn't make sense to me. Because I get that Angelica is trying to stick it to Adrian.
Not anymore though. Now it's kind of changed.
Because now Sly as a Fox Justin got someone to do the whole loan, and he basically paid the loan for them to keep the Spectator and take it from Angelica, unbeknownst to Adrian, who in turn thought it was Lucas. But then she's like, she just wants Justin back, and I was like, Hattie, I was like, aren't they divorced? So what is? So again, I still.
But he's still in love with her.
Well, of course, but I still sit there and go, girl, I don't get your plan, girl.
I get it. But here's the thing. Trust Ron. He's good at this kind of stuff. Bringing Bonnie into the whole thing. Yes. That and Hattie and them together. Here's the deal. because Angelica, I'm seeing in the chat, it was really funny. I'm seeing for the first time people say about her, half of you guys don't like Morgan Fairchild and don't. Many of you guys are being mean and talking about her looks. I would never do that. I think it's really rude. First of all, and you can think what you can save your tweets at me because I don't care. But a lot of you guys don't like the storyline. That's fine. I understand that part. That's fine. She said, but Adrian's still in love with him. I mean, that she thinks Adrian and Justin are still in love with each other, and that even though she's with Lucas, it's not going to matter. She has to kind of somehow really eliminate her out of the picture completely. Yeah, it's a crazy person, so she's being kind of crazy. So I kind of get it. It's irrational.
I didn't get it until Bonnie appeared, and then I was like, oh, I couldn't get why it was Angelica with Hattie. And even though they kept trying to explain it and say, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do that for you, I'm like, I still don't get why the two of you. Why are the two of you coming together? And then when Hattie walked in the jail, which was my everything, and Bonnie walked in, I was like, like the light bulb went off. I was like, oh my God, that's so clever. Like, I don't know. I thought it was very clever. And I get it. People don't know Angelica or they don't remember Angelica. And like you said, they don't care about the storyline. Yeah. But I thought that was when I was like, oh, that's clever. Oh, that's smart. Thank you. And that's what I like.
For me, it's intriguing, especially when, and side note, I pictured that whole scene with Hattie and Bonnie as me and Mark. Oh, but you're Bonnie and I'm Hattie, and that whole exchange of I know they did. It was good. It was good. Yeah. Like I was like, oh my God, that's so me and Mark. Yeah. But for me, it was intriguing because I was like, who is she going to see at the jail?
And see, and Ron Cavallari posted the big business post.
Oh my God, that was so great.
Yes. Very good.
So great.
Yes. Very good.
So great.
Yes. And I do like that. Kimmy is asking, who is Bonnie?
Bonnie Lockhart. Who is Mimi Lockhart's mother.
And someone just asked, and here I can answer the question for you. How did Bonnie end up in jail? It took me a minute to remember that too. She's covering up for Mimi. Yep. Mimi killed her
Scott
stepfather.
Just wrote that
oh, you right? Okay. Yep. Yeah, she killed. Yeah. Well, Scott Holston wrote it in the chat room, so he got it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mimi really did it, but
exactly.
Bonnie's covering.
I forgot for a second. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That she's in prison.
I just thought I don't know, and people are saying they don't like the twin thing, and I get it. Again, it is a story that has been done before, the twins and all that kind of stuff. And
but it hasn't been done with those two together.
It hasn't been.
It's going to be interesting.
I was seeing. There was something, and I think it's because of who they are. Yes. And if you don't know Morgan Fairchild, which I'm guessing a lot of you probably don't even know who she is or anything about her, the fact that I was sitting and watching Morgan Fairchild and Deidre Hall have this hysterical scene together was like a little gift from baby Jesus. Yeah. Like I don't even necessarily whatever. But I loved every minute of it. I thought it was so well done. I didn't think they were pushed. Like you can tell that they're pros. Yeah. They know what they're doing. And it was when she went to spit out the gum and and then she spit it out. Like everything that she was doing was so great, and Angelica's reactions to it and everything was it was so good.
And it is a different scenario because normally it's like a DiMera doing that scenario. Right. But now you have Angelica, kind of orchestrating this. Which, I mean, listen. I'm just a fan with open arms.
I know, and a lot of people.
But it's hard to. I think because of. We know that Adrian and Justin have a love for each other, but I think in our minds, it's like they have that bond because they've been together for so long and because of Sonny, and especially right now because of Sonny. Right. So they have that bond. But we know that she really has moved on.
But has
with
she?
Lucas. I mean, as far as you can tell, especially like with that hug last week, it was a comforting hug of two parents. And then Lucas came and she went over to Lucas.
My knight of shining armor. He's like, me, and she's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, girl, it's not always you. I mean, I'm surprised that you always think when I think of knight in shining armor, it's you. No, I'm thinking about my boo Lucas.
But also remember too that even if Adrian has moved on.
Yes.
If Angelica were to go after Justin, Adrian, regardless of her being with Lucas, is going to do everything she can to interfere with Angelica being with Justin. Not because necessarily that she's in love with Justin, but she just doesn't like Angelica. So she's going to run interference for her regardless of whether she's with Lucas or not. So it is a justifiable thing for her to want to get rid of Adrian, because if Adrian is not there, there is more of a possibility that she could somehow get Justin to fall back in love with her and be with her. But I think she is aware that Adrian is going to interfere with this, so she needs to eliminate Adrian. And I think that makes sense.
My thing is, and I'm going to address some of you guys in the chat room because I can, because I'm here today.
Bisexual.
Thank you.
That was funny. Even though some people that what race he doesn't like, he thinks it's insulting to bisexuals, but I think it's just a one line. Here's the thing. You know, everybody has not watched Days from the beginning. Obviously, the show's been on 50-something years.
The only person that has been watching Days since the beginning is Willa.
It's Willa. That's our girl from the beginning.
She's the only person.
From the beginning. So there's a whole rich history of people that they can bring back to the show. Of course, I know many of you guys want to bring back the ones who just left, but there's a whole rich history of people before that. That actually, they're almost like new characters again. Because you can actually, so I'm just inviting you to watch them.
Yeah.
Like Angelica, like, who's Angelica? Who's Bond? Like, they were characters that were good if you watched it back then. But they can be good. Just watch it now, see what they are.
And the thing is if we brought back somebody who's been back 100 times, everybody would be in here saying, why are they bringing them back again? Bring back somebody different. Make a new character. Well, they are. Now give it a chance.
In a way, it's a new character in a way.
Well, okay, so I will...
Don't you dare bring back the Jonases.
Bring them all back.
Bring them all back.
Unless you're going to have a murder mystery and you need people to die.
God. I will say this.
Can you kill Dan again?
Going back to when Orpheus came back, I was intrigued by that.
Yeah.
But I also understood that he had a reason for coming back and doing what he wanted to do. To me, that sort of revenge...
She did too.
That sort of revenge was like understandable. With Angelica, for me, it's still... I'm here for it, but it's still hard for me to not be like, well, girl, if you want Justin, just go after him. Like, he's not with anyone. He's not with Elsa. He's not with... Are
you not listening to what
Adrian.
I just said?
I heard what you said, but what I'm saying is
you don't want to accept it.
No, what I'm saying is that it still doesn't fully make sense to me. Because I don't feel like Adrian is, and I still feel like if Angelica went after Justin, she would probably look at her like, girl, you know you can't have that. But she's not gonna be like standing in the way like, no, girl, you can't have Justin.
Yes,
you can't have
she
Justin,
would.
Girl.
Absolutely, she would.
Adrian would.
Absolutely, she would.
It would.
Especially after what she just did to her.
Yes.
She just tried to take her paper from her.
Yeah.
But then, then flip it to Justin. Do you think Justin's gonna be like, oh, hubba hubba, Angelica? It's those flower shoes that have gotten me together.
You never know. Men they don't think with their head.
Yeah, they do. Now, okay, so
well, straight men don't.
I will say this. I will say this. If Angelica's going after Justin and Justin seems very receptive of it, then I can see Adrian being like, did you not just see what this heifer just tried to do to me? And now you gonna have her laying up in our bed? Our old bed?
Yes.
Around my son?
Yes.
No. Then I can see her being like, you can't get in my way. You can't have my man, my old man.
Well, Billie Jean, I love that. The end game for Angelica, she just said it. She's with her man, living happy ever after, and Hattie's with Roman happy ever after. That's the end game, basically. The end game is that she's with her man, free and clear. That seems like that's the end game. So.
Well, we'll just see how this story unravels.
We'll see how it unravels. But I thought it was hilarious. I found the dialogue hilarious. Both days.
Do you? Well, you're gonna do a thing later. Okay, so forget it. I'm not gonna say.
One of my look is related is on Angelica. So
right.
we'll talk.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking is maybe it's because people don't understand. The history.
I read it. I read the history.
Okay, you're just ignoring it. Okay.
I'm not ignoring it. Listen, don't be upset that I'm not at where you are in this storyline. Okay.
Where you are. I'm at different levels, everybody.
I'm at different levels.
That's my point.
I am doing my. I am sitting there. I'm like, yes, Morgan Fairchild, you better come and do it, girl. You are looking good. You got the good heels on. That was a cute shot of your feet last week when they was under the bed. I'm living for you, honey. You were still giving the Morgan Fairchild light. Yes, I'm here for it. I just don't understand the plan because I'd be like Hattie, like. I am like, so why do I have to be Marlena? Like, she doesn't even get it.
Right. She asked.
I'm just here. I'm just saying. That's just where I am with the storyline.
Okay.
My perception may change.
Oh my God! Here's the funniest thing
What?
that's been written in the chat right now. Mike Bowman. I'm supposed to find ladies find Roman still shit hot.
What?
About Roman?
Oh,
That is hilarious.
I know.
I'm
So
like,
true.
That is so true. I'm like, okay.
y'all let Miss Hattie have Mr. Roman.
I was actually thinking this week, I said, why do I have this strange feeling that a couple of weeks from now or a month or so from now, I'm going to be like, I'm actually enjoying, I never thought they would say these words, I'm actually enjoying Roman scenes because of Hattie. Like, I have a feeling those words are actually going to come out of my mouth.
Mark our words. All right, so those were the top storylines of this week.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some quick tidbits.
Yes.
Well, we already got that. We already talked about Hattie and Bonnie. Theo and Claire.
Guess it explains to me. Like, I haven't watched in a long time, and suddenly she has some sex tape or something. What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so let me catch you up.
Yeah.
And I guess she's back to her job at the hospital.
Yes,
Right,
at the
and I
hospital.
knew you were going to say something about that. Maybe she's got 2 jobs. Anywho, all right, so basically what happened is, Claire was trying to be the YouTube star, right, with her singing and stuff.
Yes.
And her followers weren't getting up to speed like she thought. So Jade was like, girl, you know what will get you followers? A sex tape. And Claire's like, a sex tape? Girl, I ain't that desperate. But then Jade was like, you know what? In my delusional world, she is going to love it. And I'm going to plant a camera and get the footage, and then she's going to appreciate it, and her followers will go up, and we'll be friends. And Claire was like, ho, I'm not like that, okay? Like, how dare you? My grandmother saw that, and Theo comes in like, my father saw that. So all that was a buzz.
Okay.
So then in this, Theo and Claire Theo kind of realized, Claire's not for him.
Okay.
Claire also kind of came clean and gave Theo a letter that Sierra had wrote him, admitting her feelings. So that caught Theo kerblopple, because we all know that Theo really cared about Sierra.
Yes.
Cut to now, they are broken up.
Okay.
And Theo is like, well, girl, we can still be friends. And Claire's like, but I don't want you as a friend.
Yes, just say that.
I don't understand why you don't see me as a girlfriend. Why can't you have me? Why can't you love me? Why can't you be with me, Theo, other than just a friend?
Why don't you love me?
Yeah,
Baby, why don't you love me?
And Theo's just like, I don't see you like that. I just want to be your friend. If you don't want to be friends, what do you want me to do?
And she ran to Grandma Marlena. I like that. And they hugged.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking, though, Tony,
What?
is because we had a conversation, was it a week or 2 ago? And you were saying how you wanted more social media followers. So I'm wondering if you and Kyler should do a sex tape together.
Wow.
And maybe you'll get more followers.
Wow.
Should I tweet him an
You give a boy one compliment.
Yes, that's it.
You know what I'm waiting for? I am waiting for the day that Kyler is booked here.
Oh, yes.
So you can take the day off?
You're going to turn red the whole time he's here.
I will tell you this. I will not be lead hosting. I'm going to sit over there, and I'm going to try to make sure it's not awkward at all. Or we'll address the elephant in the room.
Or he'll get
The
handsy.
elephant.
And
Handsy.
I will not get handsy. I will be very respectful.
He said he's stroking the elephant. The white elephants.
All right. So anyway, so Theo and Claire, they're having it out or whatever.
Okay.
Hope they'll be fine. All right. So Eli, Lonnie, and JJ.
I was like, JJ and Lonnie were having some sex.
Weren't they?
I was like, wow, all right. She was late.
Listen, let me tell you. They started off one way,
Yes.
and they ended another.
Yes.
Now that's some good sex. But I just don't like them as a couple.
I think I've always thought Casey Moss is hot, so I've always thought another hot one. I think another hot one. I don't mind them together. She's pretty. He's handsome. I mean, I think it works.
Yeah, I think the Halo 2.0 episode just kind of made me realize who I would like to see together. I would like to see JJ and Gabby together. I actually now wouldn't mind Chad and Abigail and Eli and Lonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli and Lonnie have chemistry too, so I think a good quadrangle.
And it's so sweet. Oh, how Eli was this week with her. Like, oh, so you're JJ. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw that hurt in his face, and you just wanted to go up to Eli and go, girl, I'm sorry, girl.
Always trying to find ways to hug
He's
him.
hot too. Oh, layman.
Just saying, I hope Kyler's watching.
You know what? You are just... Kyler already mentioned that.
Yeah, he did mention that. He did mention that. I saw that.
He knows you're cheating.
Anywho, nothing to cheat on. So yeah, I love the whole scene with them spilling coffee on each other.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I love Valerie giving Eli like advice on relationships
Fun
and
talk,
wanting to
yes.
like play matchmaker. Him and Julie apparently want to play.
Yes,
Her
Grandma
and Julie
Julie.
want to play matchmaker with Eli,
Yes.
and just his whole bout with his feelings for Lonnie. And now he and Lonnie are going to be working on a case together.
Side note, Susan Seaforth Hayes just celebrated 50 years as Julie on New Times. And she is the ball. I get to interview her Day of Days a couple years ago. She's really nice. But 50 years, that's crazy. She goes, come on a show in the 60s and be here in the 2010s. I'm like, you go, girl.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, but all those young people, I think there's potential.
Yeah.
I think there's potential with all of them.
Yeah.
Throw them all together in a room and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been your week of days. Did I miss anything?
Let's check.
I feel like I.
Okay, so the deportation thing. Didn't Abby find out about the whole deportation thing finally?
Yeah.
Rafe told
Yeah.
Hope
Told Hope.
about
Well, we
it.
kind of touched on because we said that he got
Yes.
arrested.
Okay.
But we didn't.
Steve gets a little closer, proving someone's trying to set up Kayla.
Oh, yeah, Steve and
Trip.
Kayla.
And Trip.
Oh,
Trip is
yes.
cute. The guy who plays Trip is cute.
Yes.
And he's so good. I
He
really
is.
like
He's
him.
good.
And Trip, I think when Trip and Patch met up in the pub, and he was like, "I know." Trip was like, "Who is it?" And then he was like, "Nurse Shelley." And so Steve, like, kind of talking to everyone and like kind of gathering this information on Nurse Shelley. I'm just waiting for to hit the fan.
And who is Dario's secret partner?
Who's what?
Dario's
I don't know, the silent partner.
silent partner.
I
know.
think that's going to be another.
Yeah, but the silent
Surprise.
partner is not staying real silent.
No. So he said that on one. He was
Yeah.
like, you're supposed for a silent partner. You really are talking.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so that's one of the things that we got everything.
All right. Well, that has been your week of days, and I also want to say thank you to everyone who's watching live. I keep the numbers here. We had up to 171 people
I saw
watching us
that.
live.
I know.
So yeah. So listen, we want to make sure that this show is for the fans. So if you are in our live chat. Or if you are watching this later, please tweet this out, put this on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, put it in a story, Snap, Insta story, whatever, and get the word out. Let folks know. Come in here on a Sunday and talk about days. Even if you didn't watch this week, you can
watch
catch
us.
up with
Yeah.
us. Yeah, and we'll catch you up. All right, it's time for our segment, and we are going to start with my favorite one, Tony's 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
All right, so... I got my entire life during this part, and I was so blessed and so thankful that it
This
aired.
better not be the scene you walked in the background.
No. I'm so blessed and so thankful that it aired not once, but twice.
Twice.
And I'll give you a recreation of it.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, yeah.
It's when Dr. Marlena Evans turned around and said, "Call me Marlena." I was like, "Yeah! You better spin around, bitch! Spin around!" I lived, and I was like, that's totally the call me
Dr. Marlena Evans.
Yes.
Dr.
So,
Robichaux.
I know.
so Deidre Hall, Marlena Evans, Hattie,
Yes.
McAdams.
Yes.
You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
All right.
right.
And now, it's been a while.
It's been a while. I got
but
2 for you.
Now it's time for Look Who's Related.
Oh, there it is. Oh, my God. I love it. Okay, so I have 2 quick ones because people ask me what's going on. So the first one we're going to show Steve is the 2 chicks. Okay.
2 chicks.
Okay, so this one
Is
is on.
it the Angelica?
Yeah, this
Okay.
the first one is Ron Carlivati. Just want to get some people ask me who is he. For you guys who don't know who he is, he's an Emmy winner. He did the last year's of One Life to Live. He did starting the 50th anniversary of GH and did up to 2015. Here are some key things you need to know about him. He's an umbrella story writer. He does snappy dialogue. He uses vets a lot. He works the history. He loves doing crazy twists. So I'm really curious about my little notes I put in here. He brought back somebody from the dead that we saw die on screen on General Hospital, A.J. Quartermain. And he brought back and it was believable. So this Will Horton thing I'm really curious about what's going to happen. So I'm just saying, I'm curious. In his hands, would be really interesting. But he is somebody who comes out with a bang, which I saw already Wednesday and parts of Friday. I was like, this is Ron. This is classic Ron work. Here is one of his famous storylines. Twins, Jessica and Natalie. You will recognize the redhead who used to be on Danger Alive.
It's Archer.
So Archer, just to show that scene.
Changes things. I mean, there's this connection.
A connection, really. Brody and I had a connection. Remember, we were gonna get married, we were gonna build a life together, but that was until you decided to crawl into bed with him.
Please, Jess, seriously, you don't need me. You destroyed your family all by yourself.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
She has split personality.
Brody was going to raise
Redhead or
Ryder
blonde?
as his
Blonde.
own. He was going to marry you, but you couldn't get past his mistakes. It was too hard for you, so you dropped him and your kids and took a nice long vacation from reality.
That's not what I wanted, Natalie. I didn't bail on purpose.
Really? Because someone let Tess out and, well, I know it wasn't me. And then you come back and you expect everything to be just as it was when you left. But guess what? Life doesn't stop just because you can't deal with it.
Okay.
Sounds like you got things all figured out.
Jess, you're my sis, and I love you. I do. And I will love you till the day I die, but I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you make me your excuse for every miserable thing that happens in your life, and I'm not sacrificing my happiness because I'm afraid you're gonna fall apart.
Give me a break, Natalie. You want me to fall apart because if Tess comes back, you don't have to feel guilty anymore.
Go ahead. Seriously, I think I like you better as Tess anyway.
Oh. Oh.
That is Vicky. And there's their mother, Vicky Lord. Okay, so that's you guys, yeah. She was Jess, Tess, Bess, and Wes. She played 4 characters on that show. And every time she can't handle life, she would go away. So that's Ron's storytelling that you guys are enjoying. Of course, that was Jessica and Natalie feud was the bomb on that show. He does that really well. So just give him a chance. Like, this is beginnings. That's what I'm saying. Hattie things.
Oh, I think everyone's giving him a chance.
Yeah, but I'm saying some people are like, I don't know, just give him a chance. He does good stuff. Yeah. Okay, the next one is Angelica. So people were asking me about her. She was played by the recently retired Jane Elliott, who was on General Hospital. Shelley Taylor Morgan played her, and Judith Chapman. So if you guys didn't watch from 87 to 89 to 91, you wouldn't have known who she was. Yeah. That was 30 years ago, basically. Jane Elliott, here's a little note. Jane Elliott and Wally Kurtz played mother and son on General Hospital for the last 30 years also. So they played lovers and mother and son, and it worked on both shows.
Wow.
Very interesting. And of course, Wally Kurtz, we had him in, and he talked about her, of course. She was married to Harper Devereaux, which was Jack's adopted father. That's how we first met Jack, your buddy, Jack. And, of course, he was the riverfront killer, we find out. He was the one who was killing everybody. And that's also when Jack found out he was a Johnson during that whole time period. So Wally Kurtz and Jane, I would say, so Wally Kurtz, so that's how they all met on that whole thing. They had a brief affair. She got pregnant. Victor wanted to pass out the baby as his, but Justin was like, oh, no, you're not going to do that. That's my child. She married Neil Curtis, good old Neil Curtis. Neil Curtis actually was a big star. I forget how big he was on that show. Every time I do it, Look Who's Related, he's like part of Look Who's Related. Neil went broke, had to sell Blondies. You guys remember Blondies? That's where Eve and all them used to be at, and also it's a long time, Nick and all that a long time ago. She threatened to marry Victor, and Justin said no. But Alexander, of course, the other kid, is his son. She left town because she bombed the construction site that Adrian was at to get rid of her. So she's crazy. You guys know she's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And she left Alex with Justin and Adrian to raise, and that's good. So I went online, and I tried to find some scenes that weren't dubbed in fucking some other language. So here's your bonus. Here's 1987 when Justin and Adrian first met. Go.
Oh.
That hair, I love it.
Hi. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay. Maybe you can use this.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
You sure?
How young they are.
I know. Although I think she looks exactly the same.
Right.
She does.
Sure. I understand. Well, if you change your mind.
Aww.
That's when they first met 30 years ago.
That's great. So he should come and give her a hanky.
He should. So
bring it full circle.
Yeah, I agree. Judy Evans does not
Maybe
age.
Angelica should go and give him a hanky.
Exactly.
Everybody agrees she hasn't aged. And and Wally Kurt, those dimples, of course, in the hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's when they first met 30 years ago. So I couldn't find any
With
kind
Angelica?
of stuff with Angelica. It was just like there were a lot of pictures. A lot of things were dubbed in other languages, so I couldn't really do that. But you look. So Angelica was somebody who was around about 30 years ago. You wouldn't know. I say give her a chance.
I remember. I do remember.
Yeah, give her a chance.
You should, lady.
Yeah.
You see what's going on. Yeah. So that's my Look Who's Related.
Well, thank you, James Lott Jr. And that has been
Look Who's Related.
And now it's time for
Mark's Quote of the Week.
So my quote.
These things are ridiculous.
Yeah, I love them.
My quote of the week this week. I think I have a feeling Hattie's going to get a lot of snaps and quotes of the week.
God,
I think it's in the stars. She's the new Victor for me. So Hattie is getting my quote of the week. And she said to Angelica, "I'm needling you here. Oh man, you just make people want to needle you." I could not stop laughing. I was just laughing so hard. There were so many.
There were so many.
So many, but that one
many.
truly made me laugh out loud. I was just like loving every minute of it. So Hattie Adams will get
Mark's Quote of the Week.
Look at you on that.
Look at that.
Oh,
You're
it's
on it.
Adams, not Mick Adams. I called her Mick Adams.
Hattie Adams. You're thinking of what's her name, McAdams? Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well. And now it's time for Fan of the Week.
Okay, so our fan of the week this week, and I'm going to try to get through this because we read this when we first got here. I pulled up iTunes to see if there was a new one, and there was, and I got very emotional, and I'm probably going to get emotional now again.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to do my best here. It says, "You go, girls." It's Kate W72. And she wrote, "Absolutely love the show. Not only are the hosts hilarious, it also helped me through a hard time in my life. For years, I watched Days every day with my mom. And we would have fun discussing it. Unfortunately, she passed away last fall. And I was sad that I would no longer be able... sorry, I don't have my reading glasses either. I would no longer be able to share my favorite show with someone. On the day of her funeral, however, something very weird happened. I was scrolling through YouTube after the service, just trying to get some much-needed distraction, when Dish and Days popped up on my list of suggested videos. I had never seen it before or heard of it until then, so I'm not sure what made it pop up on my feed. I like to think that it was my mom trying to give me something to feel better. Anyways, I decided to watch the show to see how it was. It made me laugh for the first time. It made me laugh for the first time in a long time, and I became an instant fan. Now I look forward to catching every Sunday with my girls. So thank you again, and stay fabulous."
Oh, my God. And that was from...
Kate. Yeah.
Well, Kate, thank you so much. And a special shout out to your mom.
Yes.
Who I'm sure is laughing.
And those are very big shoes for us to fill, Kate, but we'll do our best.
Yeah. I want to say that she's enjoying it just as much, and she's probably up in heaven screaming, "Girls!" And no one in heaven knows
what she's talking about.
Yeah. But they're sitting there with her and being like, "Girl!"
That's why, and I've cried on the show before too, and I'll tell you, it's these shows are kind of little pieces of community, and you never know. For us, I mean, we're friends, and so we know what that. But you guys out there, we get to see what you guys think too, and it's and you give it back to us sometimes, and you give it to each other, and it's one of those things. It's really touching.
Well, that was the whole point of this show, was for the fans and for people to feel like they can come and talk about a soap opera because not everyone watches soaps, and sometimes you struggle to find someone who gets what it is that you're talking about. And I just like that every Sunday we're able to sit with so many people who just appreciate what we do. And it started off as 3 dudes talking about a soap.
You said that the first day.
You know, so, you know, I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate you guys. I appreciate my co-hosts who come in and do this show every week and also deal with me. But, but that's a whole nother story. So well-deserved fan of the week, and we'll also make her mom fan of the week.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think so too.
I think so too. That's a great idea.
All right, so on a lighter note,
yes,
I had, but how does she not get fan of the week?
Yeah,
right.
there are other
You know,
I know.
I knew I wasn't gonna get through it, but
Well, girl, we were here for
hey,
you.
let's put the crybaby in charge of reading that.
I've cried on the show too before, so that's I know how it is.
Lighter note, y'all know I love to play the game Spot Tony, and that happened this week. On Monday, you saw me in my favorite place, which is Horton Town Square, just walking around, chatting with a friend, and here's a picture of that. And so many of you guys spotted me as well. I love when I start getting tweets that people spotted me. I love when pictures come up and they go, oh my God, I have to go back and watch that. And it's always a joy and always a pleasure just to be there.
Now, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see I did a video of you going across. That's what I was saying.
That's what you were saying. Yeah.
And so they got over 100 views already on it. Like people were looking. So you'll still see Tony walk behind them.
Just walking behind.
I'm behind them.
And Vanessa liked it, and so did Lamone. But what people don't realize for me,
your hair was short too.
Yeah, it was totally different.
Yeah.
What people don't realize for me is that when I started watching the show, like my dream was to be on the show, and hopefully one day I'll get that speaking role. But every time I am able to work on set, it's like I always feel like I'm that much closer to that dream of. And I still remember this news interview that I did when I was 18, and someone said, if you could play a character, who would you want to play? And I was like, I want to play Stefano's long lost son. And I mean, Lord and behold, that happened. But it's so great. I still remember my first day on set.
So you wanted to play Chad?
I wanted to play Chad. There's always a way to figure out how to bring it back to Billy.
Other children he has. Other children.
So hashtag Spot Tony. I don't think I have any more episodes coming up, but you
never know.
No. But the thing is, you're a good example to people out there. If you have a dream, no matter how big or small it is, you never know what direction it'll take, and you actually you end up doing what you're on set. You've got to be on set.
Yeah.
Of your show you love.
It's actually really a friend of mine and I were just talking about this. The transition that has happened with me and my ultimate favorite show was that I started off as a fan and going to these fan events in Greenville, South Carolina. Shout out to everyone in Greenville, South Carolina, with Days Into Night, or it was it used to be called Celebrity Softball. And I started off as a fan, and then I moved to LA, and they said, well, why don't you come back and host the event? And then I've been hosting the events, and then I got a chance to be on set, and I've been able to build relationships with and meet a lot of these characters, and it's just like, wow.
Dreams come true. They really can come true.
Yeah.
They really can. You never know, people. You never know.
I should be grateful and thankful.
Yes. We should. We have to remind ourselves that sometimes, especially in LA, we get a little jaded sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're out here grinding, trying to get our hustle on. It can be really tiring. But things like that, they can never take that away from you. You did it. You did it.
And trust me, I have my days. I'm just saying. All right, so let's go into some news and gossip.
Woohoo!
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, unfortunately, our Skype is not working, so therefore we can't take your phone calls. But please message us on social media, tweet us, let us know your thoughts. We do read them. Mark is great at replying. I am great at favoring it and liking it, and sometimes replying. But we love to hear your thoughts. And if you can't find us on social media, then comment below on this video. So it reminded me of some news and gossip earlier that Jordy posted on his Instagram this lovely speech that he is leaving the show, and basically that he has had a great time on the show, and that he's and that so we now know that Jordy, who plays Dario, will be leaving the show fairly soon. I think.
Yeah, I guess soon probably. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed the character of Dario.
Yeah.
So we wish him well. He's a friend of the show. He's been here before. So good luck to Jordy.
I always see his name on the I always see his signature. Somehow it always ends up facing me.
Facing you?
See it. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Billy Flynn doesn't face you?
Well, of course I know Billy's, but I just always always stands out because for some reason it's always facing towards me. So we'll miss you, Jordy.
Is there any other?
I did tweet him. I think this week, and I said, Jordy, you're making it very hard for me to like Dario.
That's so funny. Yes.
And then also, someone tweeted me and asked if I will be hosting the Boston event. Yes, I am hosting the Boston event. So please come out and meet not only me, but a lot of your favorite Days of Our Lives stars. We have Rob Wilson, Billy Flynn, Eric Martzoff, Judy Evans, Vincent Irizarry, and James Reynolds in Boston on August 26th. All details can be found at DOOL, that's D-U-A-L, DOOLcoastevents.com. That's DOOLcoastevents.com. See you in August. All right, and that's it.
Yes, and I saw Krista Allen at her comedy store.
FYI.
My brother invited me. I didn't even know she was doing. My brother invited me.
You didn't know you were going?
No, at first I was.
Oh,
my brother invited me last minute
to an event.
He said he loves. My brother never goes out. And he said, I love Krista Allen. She's doing this comedy thing at
So then you knew you were going to a Krista Allen show.
Yeah, well, with my brother. Yeah.
So you ain't letting nobody else know. Okay, so that goes back to my for your FYI. You could have.
It's a new segment here.
You could have texted somebody and said, "Hey, girl, she's headed out to WeHo."
I wasn't sure if my brother wasn't sure yet. But anyway, that's one of those stuff. I'll tell you something off camera. But anyway, we had a great time, and she's doing stand-up comedy, and the pictures are on my page. You can see them.
And that was a really cute picture of you and Krista.
She's very
Who's
sweet.
my Billy?
It's her business, Billy.
Yes.
She's very sweet.
And some people are asking, and I meant to say it too. Thank you again to the Flynns for my beautiful Christmas tree ornament that they brought me back from Italy. If you didn't see that,
I didn't get nothing.
I did Instagram a picture of it so you guys could see. I thought it was very, very sweet. And the thing is when I was in Toronto for Billy's event, we happened past one of those 24 around the year Christmas stores, and I was like, oh my god, wait, I need to go get a Christmas ornament, because I always get a Christmas tree ornament from whenever I travel, so I remember that trip. And so I had gotten one in Toronto, and Billy signed it. He autographed it for me so that I would always remember it from my time with his fan event. And so I think that he just, he remembered that, so when they were there and they saw one, they probably thought it and got it for me.
You wet your pants.
It was very, very sweet. He brought it to me on Friday, and we went and hung out with Gina at work.
Look at you, full circle. You talked about him so much on the show. You finally met him, and now you're hanging out with him.
I think it's that thing, keep your friends closer. And he's like, I'm just going to keep this crazy boy close to me. So
I agree. Gina, you have nothing to worry about, girl.
So I did tweet out, or not tweet it out, Instagrammed a picture of it. So if you wanted to see it, you can.
Oh, and someone mentioned your tweet about Matthew Ashford.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to see, and I'm glad you said that, because I haven't seen this photo. Because I guess there's a photo
I haven't seen it either.
on set, and everyone's saying it's definitely Matthew Ashford in the background. So I haven't seen the photo. I tried looking for it. I couldn't find it. So if you guys have seen the photo or have it somewhere saved or can find it, tag me in it, because I would curious to see it. Again, I don't know if it's a ghost. I don't know if it's a temporary thing. I mean, just could you imagine my Jack and my Billy?
I know.
You'd be in heaven.
I don't know what I would do.
I know what you would do. I know. All right, y'all. Well, we are out of time for this.
the Jason 47 site.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
We are out of time for this week's edition of Dishin' Days. Before we head out, hey, gal. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter.
Besides Billy's Bushes.
Besides Billy's Bushes.
How funny is that?
Besides Billy's Bushes. He scared my building manager, too, when he was coming out to my apartment because she was in the yard with her dog. He's like, I think I just scared the bejesus out of your neighbor. Anyway, you can find, speaking of the bushes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE, and if you don't follow my fan pages, they're on Facebook, Mark J Freeman and Lorraine Love.
And our very special guest, my chocolate twin, the Quiet Storm, James Brown, Joan Collins. Where can we find you?
Thanks for having me on the show. It was fun.
Thank you for coming.
Wonderful to have you back.
I'll come back again.
Okay, good.
Okay, so stay tuned because GH Reports our 100th episode.
Woohoo!
And Michelle Stafford, our buddy, is back. She's my co-host.
She probably can hear us.
She probably can hear us. And you can follow me at James Lott Jr. All James Jr. is sold.
Does she drink beer?
I don't think so.
We should get her a beer.
My books are on Amazon. My music's on iTunes. Grab everything I'm doing.
Yeah, cause girl, she's doing
I'm
a lot.
I'm doing a lot.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website.
He interrupted himself that time.
Or my website, loungingwithtony.com. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will be back next Sunday for a full dish.
I have one more thing to say.
Yes.
Girl.
Girl.
See you next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Girl.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.